Thank you, Hugh. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Villa Park. Aston Villa know what is required, but it is easier said than done. Aston Villa have won just one of their last 12 Premier League games, and the last time Arsenal lost here, Dion Dublin was scoring for Aston Villa, and he hadn't even thought about Holmes under the hammer. That day in 1998, they managed an unthinkable comeback. They need to do that again. Aston Villa have been written off so many times this season, but they still have a massive chance. The brakes have fallen for them. Now they need their big characters to step up and take those chances. Grealish, who hasn't scored for 13 games and might be playing in a Villa shirt here for the last time. McGinn, who hasn't served up a goal or assist in 15 matches. It's now or it is never. Arsenal's only hope of European football now is to finish 7th in this division or to win the cup final. Realistically, the cup final is what is driving them on, because that's their easiest route to the Europa League. And whilst they were buoyed by a terrific victory over Manchester City, consistency has been a little bit of an issue, certainly at the beginning of Project Restart, where they suffered in games down at Brighton in particular and away at Manchester City. But they've made 6 changes tonight. Villa are unchanged from the team that drew 1-1 in the Premier League on Thursday against Everton. Reina is their goalkeeper. El Mohammadi, Konsa, Mings and Target are the back 4. McGinn, Louise and Halrahan in midfield. Trezeguet, Samatta and Grealish up top. As far as Arsenal are concerned, Martinez is their goalkeeper and he's been pretty impressive since filling in for Bernd Leno. Holding, David Luiz and Kolasinac at the back 3. Cedric and Saka the wing backs, with Ceballos, who they hope to keep hold of even if it is on loan, and Torreira at the heart of midfield. Eddie Nketiah comes back into the team. Lacazette and Aubameyang once again play in the Arsenal side, and when they play, they score goals. 54 goals in 50 starts together. No wonder those two are often the first names on the team sheet. Stuart Pearce is alongside us, and he just turned over his right shoulder, looked about 6 seats back and said hello to, I think, a man who was in your Olympic squad in Neil Taylor. Is that right?
I certainly did, and Tom Heaton as well, who played with Sterling for us in the under-21s as well. Both absolutely top-notch kids, really good. Or men, should I say now.
They're behind us watching on rather nervously, knowing that result earlier today has made a huge impact, probably on the mood in the Aston Villa dressing room. They're now level on goal difference with Watford, 3 points behind, knowing that if they were to win here, they would move out of the relegation zone tonight. They then have to play West Ham away on Sunday afternoon. And of course, that Sunday afternoon, which will be dominated by twists and turns up and down the country, will be fully covered all across the day here on Talk Sport and Talk Sport 2, and via our app. We'll have so many commentaries you won't be able to move. Stuart Pearce, Aston Villa have 1 or 2 life rings tossed their way in the last 7 or 8 days, but now it's down to them to sink or swim.
Yeah, as often happens down the bottom reaches of the league, when you don't play you seem to get better results than when you actually do play. Now Villa have got a chance playing now to capitalise on the result elsewhere for Watford. I think 1 victory out there 2 games will see them safe. We'll have to see.
Aston Villa in claret tops with blue sleeves, attacking the goal away to our left. Arsenal attacking the whole 10, coming forward now with Cedric in that yellow top with faint navy print and navy shorts and yellow socks. And they're attacking the Holt end, which tonight obviously isn't as populated as you would expect. John McGinn has it in midfield, just in front of the centre circle. Back to Douglas Luiz. Our referee tonight is Chris Kavanagh, assisted by Dan Cook and Sean Massey Ellis over on the far side. Our 4th official, Graham Scott, and VAR is Craig Pawson as the ball comes in from wide. El Mohammadi, whose crossing was particularly good in the game against Everton, and only actually has come into the team because of an injury which was picked up by Courtney House, who's back on the bench tonight. But he's kept his place, El Mohammadi, at right full-back this evening. Here is Torreira trying to squeeze away from John McGinn, and McGinn just leaves a little bit on Luca Torreira, and a free kick is given 15 yards short of the centre circle inside Arsenal territory. 2 minutes played, Aston Villa 0, Arsenal 0 on TalkSport on a crucial night at the bottom of the Premier League.
Yeah, we're uncertain how Arsenal would line up with the personnel that they employed here, but they've certainly gone with a back three. Cedric being the right wing back, Sacco being the left wing back. They'll look to play out from the back as often as they possibly can.
Yeah, I must admit, I watched them in the warm-up and saw how they were shaping up, and was pretty convinced that that's what they were going to do. Cedric and Saka on either flank tonight for an Arsenal team that have been in pretty decent form recently. Of course, in conventional times, Villa Park would be bursting at its seams. Throngs of claret and blue would be bellowing from the Holt end away to our right-hand side. Tonight it's just the claret and blue canvas coverings and empty seats, save for one or two stewards emerging from emergency exits in bright yellow high-vis jackets and face masks, just peering over the top to get a glimpse of their heroes. Just one or two of the privileged few hundred that happen to be inside this stadium tonight on this sunlit evening with the floodlights on. And Aston Villa giving away a free kick just 20 yards inside their own territory, a chance for Dani Ceballos to cultivate an angle ball into the penalty area early on here.
You mentioned earlier about just let this free kick be taken, and then I'll make the point.
It's tapped to the right, short to Saka, then back out wide to Cedric, and then Ceballos sends it back wide again for Cedric, who's got a bit more space, produces cross into the centre, headed away by the retreating Halrahan, and it's out for a throw-in down by the corner flag to Arsenal, who are on the attack, 0-0.
Yeah, you mentioned, we spoke about Tom Heaton before the game. Be interesting to see how Villa would have fared if Tom Heaton would have stayed, because he was an outstanding signing, I thought.
Yeah. Injury obviously robbed him of most of the season. Tom Heaton, who is here tonight, as we mentioned. They had one or two big problems in that position as a result of that. They couldn't get it right. Neuland playing in goal, Jed Steers played a game, Pepe Reina's played a game. They've used 4 Premier League goalkeepers this season.
That tells its story by itself, doesn't it, really? 4 goalkeepers in a season, wow.
Pepe Reina, the latest of those, 37 years of age, 6'2", his 5th start in place of Neuland. Ball is out over on the far side. He's just kicked it out there, about 10 yards short of the penalty area. There's a plane going overhead, and it says back Arteta, Kroenke out. That is one of those planes with the tail fin, the tail banners, which sending a message from supporters to the club owners. I must think, you know, if you've got that much money to hire a plane and a banner, why don't you just try and invest in the club? Anyway, I think there's a little message there. Back Arteta. Anyway, I'm sure most Arsenal fans agree with that. It's not controversial. Thank God for that. Here is Torreira out towards the near side. He yard in from the right touchline. Cedric guides it back to Rob Holding. Holding deep inside his own territory. Pokes it forward, and Nketiah dropping deep to keep the ball circulating for Arsenal. Have it deep inside their own half of the field. Work it wide towards the left. The plane's still going round above our head, making a huge din. And here is Ceballos. On a beautiful night now in the West Midlands. The ball's shaped out towards Cedric, who signed from Southampton now permanently. He was ineligible at the weekend after playing for Southampton earlier in the FA Cup competition, so he won't be able to play in the FA Cup final. Here is Jack Grealish, who has played in the FA Cup final with Aston Villa not so long ago. Sends the ball out towards the wide right. It's collected by McGinn, who's trying to squeeze in from the right touchline. He's knocked to the floor by Kolasinac, wanted a free kick. Chris Kavanagh was not inclined to do that, and then Arsenal looked to bring it away, and Lacazette plays the ball out towards the far side, gives it straight to El Mohammadi, Saka commits a foul. It's a free kick to Aston Villa, a yard in from the touchline, just inside Arsenal territory. 0-0.
Yeah, just looking at Arsenal, they've got Nketiah playing on the right-hand side, Lacazette down the middle, haven't they, tonight? So, which is a slight change. I'm sure they'll interchange as the evening goes on.
Mikel Arteta is standing on the touchline. He's outside his technical area, which Graham Scott doesn't seem to be too fussed about. And he's almost on the pitch, coaching, cajoling, as Grealish bursts down the right. He's got beyond the last defender, produces a cross into the centre. It's headed away by stooping Kolasinac, back as far as El Mohammadi. McGinn rises, loops ahead of goalwards. It's over the top of the bar and just a little bit wide too. And it goes behind and away for a goal kick to Arsenal. 0-0 the score. We've played 7 minutes on TalkSport, live and exclusive to national radio. A huge match tonight for Aston Villa, who know that Watford have already been beaten. As a result of that, the table has a much healthier complexion for them. If it stays like this, they will be within 2 points of Watford. Oh, that's a mishap at the back. Ball chucked back towards the edge of the penalty area, and I think there might be an issue here for El Mohammadi, who's stretching out his left hamstring. He just stretched for the ball and didn't quite catch it right, and it went behind the way for a corner. Pepe Reina couldn't keep it in. He air-kicked it.
See, that all come from Aston Villa have lined 4 players up on the edge of Arsenal's box to stop them playing out, and they do it half-heartedly. If you're going to have that many players in advanced areas, you've got to go with violence when you go and shut people down. They let them play through. Next thing, they've got a corner against themselves.
Here is the first corner of the game for Arsenal, over on the far side in front of the Holte end. It's floated to the edge of the box where Luca Torreira is waiting to volley it goalwards. He does that. Ezri Konsa manages to get it away, and then it's pumped forward down the left by Hourahan, looking for Trezeguet. He can't reach it. Headed clear by Cedric on the halfway line, and now it's back with Luca Torreira again. I mean, the idea of the corner was actually well worked, wasn't it? It was flicked out to the edge of the penalty area where Torreira was waiting for that ball, and he was unmarked.
Well, we got a situation where, because they don't press with enough aggression at the front end of the pitch, Arsenal play through them, and for all intents and purposes, the first shot on target, basically, that was blocked.
Grealish gets it back towards the halfway line for Aston Villa, just trying to get a bit of possession for the home team here. You're listening to Aston Villa 0, Arsenal 0 on TalkSport with Now TV. Don't forget you can watch Aston Villa versus Arsenal live right now with the Now TV Sky Sports Day Pass for just $9.99. Search Now TV. This is TalkSport.
When conversation comes up about Grealish, it always switches, whenever I'm talking to coaches and whatever, it always switches to the fact of where is his best position. You know, where do you play Grealish?
John Terry is just emerging from the balcony here, which is about 10 rows back from the technical area. There is a gantry which is used usually by disabled spectators, which Dean Smith and John Terry station themselves on to get a better view of the playing surface. It's only actually about 10 yards to our right-hand side, so it's an excellent view, and we're lucky to have a great view from where our vantage point is as well, just left of the halfway line, but at a similar sort of height. They've gone down to the touchline, onto the AstroTurf on the perimeter of the pitch to have a word with the players and reorganise the defence, because they're going to make a substitution early on here. El Mohammadi is going to have to come off inside the first 10 minutes of this game, Stuart Pearce, and he is going to be replaced by Frédéric Guilbert.
Yeah, he's either flexed his knee or his hamstring's gone on that left leg, hasn't he? You know, and it was all just getting turned around the corner and mishitting a ball back to his goalkeeper, and well, for me it all stemmed from a poor press from the front, but they've played high odds on that one.
He's the first of what I'm sure will be 5 changes tonight on what is the back end of a long season. A season which started in July for Wolverhampton Wanderers last year in particular. You know, we're coming up to exactly 12 months since Wolves started their Europa League campaign, and John Terry's just giving final instructions to Frédéric Guilbert.
Yeah, common sense instructions, I think, from JT. Show him outside, don't let him inside, you know. But how many times do you see it?
Well, this is a baptism in the fire as well, isn't it? Because El Mohammadi's had to go off and he's come back on again after getting a bit of treatment. Now Gilbert's taken off his bib and turned it inside out and is running down the touchline trying to warm up. Meanwhile, if there is any mishaps here, they've got to deal with Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang in that position, attacking that right full-back. So they've got to be incredibly careful to make sure they protect that side whilst they're waiting to get their substitute on, if that's indeed what they're going to do.
Well, he's certainly... you don't take chances with players if you think they're off. I'm surprised that he's carrying on, but it just tells me that he probably is fit to carry on.
But he doesn't look to be moving particularly well in that right full-back position as Arsenal move the ball around in the middle of the Aston Villa half. It's now with Dani Ceballos, hair pinned back by an Alice Ban, sends it square into Luca Torreira, small and squat, the Uruguayan midfielder, pokes it back to the Spaniard, and now here is Kolasinac, bulky, on to Saka, sends the ball into Nketiah, lovely combination between those two, and then as Mings tries to clear under pressure from Lacazette, he just about hoiks it out into the stand on this near side and away for a throw into Arsenal. 0-0.
Yeah, good ball in there. Saka got a lot of space, probably too much to run into, coming on the diagonal, and Nketiah, great first control, just couldn't get his second touch away as a shot at goal.
Nketiah has it again down the right side for Arsenal. It's being tracked by Matt Targett. He's playing in his 27th Premier League game of the season. It's the most that he's played in his professional career in one campaign. Played 15 or so for Southampton last year. Douglas Luiz was wrestling on the edge of the penalty area with Lacazette. Lacazette's gone down. Referee didn't give anything. He has given a free kick eventually for a foul on Grealish, the Premier League's most fouled player. In fact, the Premier League's most fouled player in any season since records began. He attracts attention.
Well, saying that, back in the 90s, you know, you could get away with a lot more, it's fair to say.
Yeah. Let's just say that it was a good job they didn't record fouls back then. But the referees didn't even record half the fouls.
You could foul the referee in those days.
Here is Halrahan back to what we thought was the injured El Mohammadi, but he seems to be shaking that off despite laying on the ground for some time, and then emergency deployment of Gilbert down the left touchline to do a bit of a warm-up. He seems to be a bit frustrated that he's had to get up off his seat now, and he's going, what, should I keep going or not? Meanwhile, Dean Smith has now stationed himself right on the edge of the Aston Villa technical area down in front of us. It remains goalless. The sun peering over the top of the stand away to our left-hand side, and basically basking half the Holt End, the two-tiered Holt End, in beautiful summer sunshine. The kind of weather where you just want to sit in the back garden, crack open a beer and throw a couple of burgers on the barbecue. Aston Villa's job tonight is to make sure they don't get skewered, because they've seen Watford already toasted. Here on the right side is El Mohammadi, flicking the ball over the top. Chasing down the right into the wing position is Trezeguet, trying to get to the edge of the Arsenal penalty area. He tries to squeeze between both Kolasinac and Ceballos, but Ceballos does well, reads it, then plays it into midfield. Lacazette earns a free kick, and Arsenal relieve the pressure, 0-0.
I'll tell you what, football plays tricks with your mind, Sam. You know, we were watching the Watford game on telly, and all of a sudden you think Villa have got a great chance of staying in the league, haven't you? And then 15 minutes into this game, I'm looking and thinking to myself, am I seeing an Aston Villa side that are hell-bent on getting out of a relegation scrap? And the answer to your question is probably not, no. What do you think?
I'm sitting here thinking Bournemouth have got a great chance of staying in the
Exactly. Whoever doesn't play's got a great chance. The last thing you need is a fixture if you're at the bottom of the league, is what I'm saying.
We'll have all the fixtures on Sunday covered on TalkSport and TalkSport 2 and via our app, which you can download from the iOS and Google Play Store. And by the way, you might need that tomorrow night as well, because what a whopping night of action we've got for you from the Championship tomorrow. West Brom QPR live on TalkSport from 7:30. Brentford against Barnsley on TalkSport 2. Around the grounds as well. And well, all the build-up to Manchester United and West Ham and Liverpool, Chelsea in the Premier League too, as the fight for the top four goes right to the wire. Here's Saka over on the left-hand side for Arsenal, to moving the ball towards the edge of the penalty area. A low ball in towards the edge of the 6-yard box, where it's angled away by Ezri Konsa, out of play, hoisted into the Trinity Road stand, the Doug Ellis stand over on the far side, which sort of almost falls backwards over Trinity Road if you came down that way.
I think my advice to Villa would be, if you're going to press from the front, go as though you mean it. If you're not, you're better off backing off to the halfway line. And at this moment in time, they've half-hearted pressed. And if you open up your back four to the front three of Arsenal, you could have a problem.
Well, there's so much, isn't there, for Villa to sort of overturn. Form, history, the records this season. They have the worst record in the league against any teams in the top half. Defensively, I mean, they are one of the worst team in the league, but bar Norwich City. 66 goals. It's an avalanche of goals conceded. He's the main reason why they find themselves struggling to keep their head above water. But that said, you know, without being dynamic, especially in the first few minutes of games, they've looked more robust, more secure in midfield recently. Douglas Luiz, Conor Halrahan, McGinn, they've got a balance about them, and if they can play their way into the game, they have shown that they can cause teams problems. They haven't done that so far. It's 0-0. Here is Rob Holding. He brings the ball out of the Arsenal defence on the right side of it, then scoops it to the far touchline. Saka with a little nod into Aubameyang. Cross comes Ezri Konsa and manages to clear over the front of the Doug Ellis stand and into the emergency exit over on the far side. Could have done that if he'd tried. Loads of flags just draped over the edges of the top tier of that stand opposite us tonight. Makes for good viewing from this angle. Ceballos just left of the centre circle, across to Rob Holding. Holding with his long, lean legs moves over halfway, then comes back again, gives it back in field to Torreira. Torreira to David Luiz, who was absolutely sensational at the weekend. He had one of those games where he is terrific, and that's a terrific ball out towards the right side, and Cedric is on the chase. Can he keep it in? Just about, plays it against the defender Target, who is retreating, and he deflects it behind and away for an Arsenal corner.
Yeah, as I say, we witnessed a really rearguard action from Arsenal at the weekend, didn't we? They were fantastic defending their box. Admittedly, they've done it in big numbers, 9s, 10s, 11s at times, but they were there to make crucial blocks, and Luiz was as good as anyone doing that. John Terry and Dean Smith are back up in the perch as they watch this set piece drilled in by Dani Ceballos, holding up from the back. It goes in towards the near post, flicked away by Target, comes free on the edge of the area for Saka, who just plays it a little bit behind Aubameyang, then looks to go for the return down the left side of the area, produces a cross into the centre, out comes Pepe Reina, not a great punch on it. Torreira picks it up, Ceballos trying to recycle it down the right of the box, plays it against Target. It's another corner to Arsenal. Yeah, the build up of pressure here won't do much for Dean Smith's nerves, I'm sure, or John Terry away to our right there. John Terry gesticulating wildly in conversation with Dean Smith as the ball is played short to Cedric this time. Ceballos wants it back again, gets it back, plays it wider out to Cedric, a chance to cross. It's a deep ball towards the far post, watched by Halrahan, and he nods it out towards the far side. Recycled by Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang into Lacazette, then feathered wide towards the left. Saka, they move the ball at speed here, Arsenal, moving towards the edge of the box. Saka produces a cross, the big deflections take it behind, and it goes out for another Arsenal corner. It's the fourth in very quick succession, Stuart Pearce, and the pressure is building. Yes, certainly is. It's almost a little bit too easy. Villa giving them a lot of space, whether it be at the front end of the pitch or the back end of the pitch. They're having opportunities to get crosses into the box, get the ball into people's feet without being very aggressively challenged. Arsenal have beaten Manchester City and Liverpool in their last two games, so you can understand why Villa fans tuning into this are incredibly nervous. One of those was Gabi Bonlahor, who he had on for the first half hour of our programme tonight. Ball sent in towards the near post. This little skip by David Luiz doesn't quite come off. It's cleared towards the halfway line, pushed back by Kolasinac, but Douglas Luiz has intervened and he's running up towards the halfway line after picking off the inception and has managed to hoist it forward. I think he probably was hoping for a free kick when he was challenged by Ceballos. He didn't get one,
and then there's a collision in midfield again involving Ceballos, and the referee says play on. And the tempo to the game has been quite good so far, but it's a tempo that's been set by the visitors Arsenal. 0-0.
Yeah, they look fairly comfortable in the game. Ceballos getting on the ball, and he makes Arsenal tick a little bit, I think, in the centre, and he moves it quickly. He doesn't slow play down. That's what I like about him.
Angled ball by Rob Holding from the halfway line, sent towards Aubameyang, and Lacazette was cut out, and it's forward by target to John McGinn on halfway. He thinks he's fouled. Referee says eventually that he was, and a free kick is given to Villa on halfway. 0-0, 21 and a half minutes gone on TalkSport on kick-off this Tuesday evening. It is Tuesday? It is definitely Tuesday. Wednesday's the big night in the Championship. That's how I do my calendar nowadays, by football matches.
It's on a knife edge down the bottom of the Championship as well, isn't it?
It is. Oof. Yes, and I'm not entirely sure we'll get a complete resolution tomorrow night after all the results are in, because of the legal challenges and points deductions that could be applied to Wigan, Sheffield Wednesday and Derby County. Ball thrown in by Cedric in the right full-back area. It's cleared upfield over the halfway line. Mings is being attacked by Lacazette. Konsa just moves across and puts his body in between the Frenchman and Mings, and it goes all the way back to Pepe Reina. Aston Villa 0, Arsenal 0 on TalkSport with the next generation Nissan Duke. Together, let's move beyond.
I think we've just seen an obstruction there. I mean, it happens so often, doesn't it? Konsa's looking at the ball, his teammate's going to get it, so he just runs across the path of Lacazette. It's obstruction.
I thought he used his arm.
He did, actually. Yep. But he's got no intent on playing the ball, just blocking the Arsenal player's run. When
was the last time you saw an indirect free kick given for obstruction?
Very few, but when was the last time that the player just fell to the ground and the referee said, come on, just get up and play on, for goodness sake.
Mings. Hey, it's not like it was in the 90s, is it?
I don't want it to be like that. All right, point taken.
Here is Target over the halfway line, charging into Arsenal's half. There was a tackle, and a free kick has been given, but we've also got a drinks break, which might be more apt tonight than at other occasions over the course of this summer special that we are bringing you live on TalkSport. This round of matches, this brilliant end to the season which has kept us all captivated. Maybe we've been more enthralled than ever before because we missed it so much when it was out. Remember, tomorrow you can finish the climax to the Championship season with TalkSport. West Brom against Queen's Park Rangers, Hugh Wizencroft, Adam Bridge, Chris Uwelemo, plus updates from the night's other key games in the Championship. Manchester United, West Ham, Liverpool, Chelsea in the Premier League as well, whilst on TalkSport 2 Dan Wendell presents commentary from Ian Danter and David Connolly as Brentford take on Barnsley. Brentford can still get promoted automatically. So can Fulham. So can West Bromwich Albion. Sunday is the Premier League's final day on TalkSport 2. We've got playoff semi-finals and the final in the Championship to come. We've got Europa League action, Champions League to get stuck into. Your football fix, found all in one place. It's TalkSport. And if you have a quick look at the drinks break taking place down in front of us, I think we're going to see that substitution that we anticipated about 10 minutes ago. Stuart Pearce, Gilbert on, El Mohammadi off.
Yeah, it certainly took a while for a player that potentially got injured in the first few minutes of the game for that substitute to be taken now, but there you go. What do you think Dean Smith would say if you offered him a point now in this game?
Take
it all day.
Absolutely.
Going to the last game.
Go to the last game, go to West Ham. West Ham know they're safe already. Time to take what's on offer, I think. I think he'll still be looking back at Thursday night's game against Everton, what might have been, because they should have seen out that game. They had a good chance to go 2-0 up, didn't take it, and then find themselves 1-1 all of a sudden. It's a completely different scenario for them. That is the way it is at this stage of the season, I'm afraid. So Gilbert on, the first change of the night. In at right fullback, the Frenchman, who has been given 29 yellow cards over the last 3 seasons, and a red. Here is Grealish. It's currently Aston Villa 0, Arsenal 0, and for the latest odds you can head to the Betfair Exchange, the official betting partner of TalkSport's Premier League coverage. Here is McGinn inside the penalty area trying to get away from David Luiz, who puts it out for a corner. Right now you can get these odds on the Betfair Exchange. Villa 3.7, Arsenal 2.1, the draw 3.85. It's all thanks to the Betfair Exchange. More ways to bet, more ways to win. 18 plus, and there is a website for you to check out as well, begambleaware.org. This is Talk Sport, and it's the first Aston Villa corner of the evening, and if they're going to score from anything, it's going to be a set piece. That's what history has been telling us over the last few weeks and months.
Hourihane, decent deliverer of the ball, left foot here, whipping out swing.
And it is towards the edge of the 6-yard box. It's missed by everyone, comes back and slashed into the goal by El Ghazi. It's a fantastic finish by El Ghazi. It's another set-piece goal for Aston Villa, and as it stands, Aston Villa are moving out of the relegation zone. Aston Villa lead Arsenal by a goal to nil. There's a hell of a long way to go, but that's just about the best start to a second quarter of a game that Aston Villa could have envisaged. He kisses the turf in delight. He's embraced by his teammates because it's Aston Villa 1, Arsenal 0.
Well, Arsenal had every player back in their box, and the vast majority of them all run under the ball. And it just left a gaping space, basically, after the flick on at the far post. And I've got to say, it was a good strike on the half volley, though. Got over the top of the ball and drove it into the near post.
What a goal from Trezeguet. Smacking the ball low and hard and into the net. And Aston Villa lead by a goal to nil.
Well, I'm not sure they take that point now. You never know.
28 minutes on the clock. That's a turn up for the books. And as the league looks right at this moment in time, Aston Villa move out of the relegation zone, Stuart Pearce. Yeah,
and Mings has just demonstrated why Aston Villa are in the problems that they are. A straightforward ball up, a 6'4" central defender, just come and head it. Oh no, I'm going to plant my feet, try and chest it down. Lacazette gets there before you, runs you into the channel and you foul him, and the ball's going to be flashed across the face of your goal. And if you equalise now, Arsenal, that's why you're at the bottom, Aston Villa.
Trezeguet has scored for Aston Villa live on Talk Sport to give them the lead, and it's an absolutely stunning goal. Well worked as well from the set piece. Hourihane with the effort. He seems to be the only forward that scores at the moment. Trezeguet scored a dramatic goal against Leicester to take them to Wembley as well. Here is the ball towards the edge of the area. It's smacked by Ceballos, and it's over the top of the crossbar.
Yeah, Ceballos, well worked, cut back to the edge of the box, but I think McGinn read it and just took his eye line and his focus away from the ball and skied it. But Villa only got themselves to blame then. Mings has got to do slightly better than he did.
Well, 29 minutes gone, and what a story this could be for Aston Villa. And this is the kind of thing that they've sort of been when they've been getting ahead in games, and that has been a problem for them as well. They've been doing it around this time. They've got an issue here though, because Samatta has just gone down holding his right calf, I think, and the game has been stopped as a result, and he's going to need some attention, and they might be forced into a second early change.
I'm not exactly sure what happened on that occasion. Didn't see anything. Maybe a potential tackle in front of us with Ceballos. But he looks in a little bit of discomfort. Bottom side of the right calf.
Well, that's a real problem for Samatta, the Tanzanian. And he's sitting on the floor now. And
he's landed on it. He's jumped with Louise, and I think where he's landed, he's just flexed his calf or his Achilles.
That's something you think can be mitigated, run off, or is it one of those where you're going to have to call for another replacement?
No, I think the way he's moving at the moment, it'll be okay. He's just having a bit of WD-40 sprayed on the back of his heel, so he should be okay. That'll loosen him up.
That's what we use.
They use that as breath freshener these days.
I did notice. Welcome along. You're listening to Talk Sport, and Bwana Ali Samatta is back on the pitch, Tanzanian, and he's just won the ball on halfway from Torreira with a little back heel, pokes it out towards the near side. Grealish comes infield and goes past Torreira, moves towards the edge of the penalty area, and then he's beaten by Torreira, and there's a foul by Luca Torreira on Jack Grealish. It generates a free kick. I just wonder what, I suppose, Bournemouth fans are thinking now, and Watford fans are thinking listening to the radio. If you are just sitting in your kitchen with the DAB digital radio on, you're leaning over to it, just making sure you're hearing us right. Yes, Aston Villa are beating Arsenal by 1-0, and you might well want to have your say a little bit later on. 08717 22 33 44. It was Trezeguet who scored after 28 minutes. Ball sent in towards the edge of the penalty area. It bounces inside the box. It's collected on the left by Aubameyang, and Aubameyang runs it clear towards halfway. It's now with Konza, far side, brings the ball back in field. It's collected by Douglas Luiz and out towards the far side.
Yeah. Villa have just got to make sure they get a series of passing, don't do anything silly now, don't give Arsenal opportunities to isolate their defenders one-on-one.
Ball out over on the far side, and it's away for a throw-in. David Luiz has it on the edge of the 18-yard box. It's pushed to Holding back to David Luiz. It's onto the left-hand side. Now Kolasinac tries to chuck it down the touchline, chested forward, and then it's picked up by Douglas Luiz. He juggles with it, and then it's headed on by Trezeguet into the path of Gilbert, who's now out of position as Aubameyang cannons down the left-hand side, tries to twist and turn it into the box. He looks for Lacazette, who goes down under pressure from Grealish. It's smuggled away, and it's picked up on the far side by Trezeguet, who runs it clear, and it's going to be a free kick.
Yeah, I don't think there was any shout there from Lacazette for the penalty when it flashed in. And Grealish done just enough to pull his foot out the way, or probably even got first contact on the ball.
Referee just waiting for VAR to be consulted. There's a little bump. Sports bar open for business tonight, by the way, for anyone who wants to discuss proceedings. 08717 2233 44 is the number to call. Here is Reina out towards the far side. Grealish takes it back and then plays in target, a couple of yards in from the touchline, crosses the centre. Ali Samatta looks to try and get on the end of it. It's away by Kolasinac, and then further clear. Comes to Douglas Luiz, who steps on the body of Lacazette, and it will be cleared away. Aston Villa 1, Arsenal 0. Trezeguet with a goal after 28 minutes. It's his 7th goal of the season.
Yeah, Arsenal started the game very well, a lot of possession without really breaking Villa down, and a little bit lethargic, I would say. Arsenal just pleased to knock the ball around without really threatening the Villa back line as much as they potentially could have done.
Here is David Luiz, just short of the centre circle. Plays it square and onto Holding infield towards Torreira cross towards the far side, where it's collected by Ceballos back to Kolasinac into Ceballos, and then it's on to Holding once again. Infield it goes, collected by Torreira down the right towards the edge of the penalty area. Oh, that's a foul by Torreira through the back of Hourahan, and it's going to be a yellow card, the first of the game.
Yeah, I think Torreira has committed 1 or 2 challenges, and that was a culmination of a couple of challenges rather than, well, it was firm. Yeah, ball had gone, I think.
Mings to take the free kick. What a position Aston Villa have found themselves in. This iconic venue which has hosted semi-finals, finals, community shields. These 4 stands are all independent structures. The huge roof of the whole end dominates the skyline away to our right-hand side. Gaps in between 3 of the 4 stands let in light and air. You can see a few trees poking between the Doug Ellis stand and the whole end. Usually this place would be thronging with noise. It is a traditional old stadium. The red brick facade visible as you go down Whitton Road and enter the car park behind the goal away to our left. Gives it that sort of emblematic feel of British football. I think it's an old Archibald Leach construction. It certainly was when it was first erected. I think there's much original about it now.
Archibald Leach, was that the name of is that Gregory Peck's real name? No, I'm being serious. Look that up.
Okay.
Archibald Leach, real name actor. I think it's Gregory Peck.
He was the architect who designed Ibrox, wasn't he?
I never knew that. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Here is Torreira out towards the right side, and then it's on to Cedric, and then infield to Torreira once more. He switches the play out to the far side. Kolasinac chests it down. Now it's on to Saka. Saka coming infield. Saka plays it in towards Aubameyang. He tries to steer it goalwards. It's pushed out of play, and it's away for a corner on the far side to Arsenal, their fifth of the game.
Okay, Cary Grant, because in A Fish Called Wanda. And we'll get back to the game.
Corner taken by Arsenal. Ceballos to Saka. Saka to Ceballos again. Flick down the left. Oh, it's missed by Gilbert. And then it's retrieved by Saka over by the corner. And then he tries to turn the ball back to Aubameyang. And it goes out of play and away for a throwing down by the corner flag. It remains 1-0 to Aston Villa with 8 minutes to go before half-time. I think one will be enough for Aston Villa tonight.
No, I think Arsenal will get a goal.
Certainly history would suggest that if you look at the statistics over the course of the season. And Aston Villa have dropped a lot of points from winning positions. More than most, 21 I think over the course of the season. The heart to take from that, I suppose, is that they are getting into winning positions. Now is the time, if you're going to, hold on to them.
Yeah, I mean the key will be, if it stays 1-0, how the nerves and intensity of the game will get to Villa, whether they sit back. So at the moment Arsenal have not really threatened in their last third, have they, to any extent?
Not yet. Here's Cedric up to Lacazette. Lacazette turning and just touching the ball infield. It's cut away by Target to McGinn. McGinn tries to steer it round the corner through the legs of Hourahan to Grealish now. Grealish under pressure from Cedric, guides it back to Mings, and then Mings looks up and will try to play the ball forward. You're listening to TalkSport. Aston Villa 1, Arsenal 0. Live at Villa Park. Reina kicks clear up over the halfway line. Samatta heads it on down the right, looking for Trezeguet. Trezeguet, the goal scorer, is in an offside position. And a free kick is given to Arsenal, who find themselves behind.
I think I've just seen the free kick that has been taken the furthest away from where it was actually the offside was coming in. Must have been a good 30 yards back, wasn't it?
Well, Arsenal can do themselves a solid if they win the FA Cup and get through to the Europa League via that way. They can only qualify really if they end up winning both their matches by a decent scoreline through the league, and even that's precarious depending on what happens next. My understanding is I think they have to win the FA Cup to play European football really now. But they can help out Aston Villa, I suppose, in one sense, because if they were to win here, Aston Villa, tonight, and then Arsenal were to beat Watford, Villa would stay up. Here is Trezeguet on the right-hand side. His cross into the box is just behind Douglas Luiz, and it's cleared away by Torreira. One back by McGinn. McGinn trying to steer it forward. Goes back to Hourahan on the right-hand side. Trezeguet's got it again. A yard in from the touchline. Looking to push it forward into the on-rushing Gilbert. And it goes behind and away for a corner kick over on the far side to Villa once again. Neil, what happened from the last one?
Yeah, we certainly do. Villa will be very pleased to get some of their big boys forward. Cause a problem. Arsenal defending in the main in this zonal area, and they just got all drawn to the near post for the first one.
Ball is over and behind the canvases. It has to be retrieved by a steward who is dotted behind Emi Martinez's goal. Hourahan is going to take it down by the corner flag. He goes and picks the ball up after it's been pushed back to him. He places it down, and there is a knot of claret and blue jerseys on the penalty spot as the ball goes in towards the near post, and Konsa goes up towards that. Ezri Konsa doesn't quite reach it. It's hidden away by David Luiz, and then Grealish all the way back to the halfway line. It's picked up by Targett under pressure from Aubameyang, wide towards the left. Here's Douglas Luiz. Luiz cuts in, plays it towards the right. Lots of space on the far side. Halrahan takes it in, plays it down the right. Gilbert on the overlap. His cross was poor anyway, but it came off Saka, who was retreating, and it's out for a corner kick over on the far touchline.
Great phase of play there by Villa, probably their best of the game so far. Just built up from the halfway line out to Luiz on this left hand side. Good reverse pass and maybe a slightly better cross, but well cut out by Arsenal.
4 minutes before the break.
I still think it's on at this far post, you know. If he drills one at the far post, Trezeguet, a lot of room here still on the edge of the penalty area. It's just darted towards the near post now, Trezeguet. The ball's gone into that area. It's headed away by Lacazette. Very helpful in both boxes. Comes back to Grealish, arcs the ball into the near post. Trezeguet with a header again, saved down low by the goalkeeper, Emi Martinez, who moves to his right. Good opportunity for Aston Villa, and I think it's pretty clear that that's where their joy is going to come from, set pieces. Offensively, you know, the forwards have really been letting them down. Trezeguet's goals against Crystal Palace are the only goals that Villa's forwards have played, players have scored in the last 11 games. He seems to be the only one who remembers how to put the ball in the back of the net of those front players, but let's be completely clear. A couple of opportunities that they have had recently have come from set pieces. That's how they scored their first goal, and that's why they're in front in this match. Here's Nketiah moving down the right. Could be a massive night for Aston Villa. Nketiah wriggles away from Targett into the area, and it's blocked by Douglas Luiz and put out and away for another Arsenal corner. 3 minutes to go before half-time. Aston Villa lead by a goal to nil. Yeah, well worked there. Just when Targett was tracking back into the box for one moment, I thought he was going to get a touch clumsy, but he managed to check his run.
Ceballos to take the corner kick on the near side. Will swing the ball, an outswinger towards the likes of David Luiz and Holding, who have come up from the back here. Ceballos towards the far stick. They went a little bit too early there, the two central defenders, and it allowed Konsa to head the ball towards the halfway line. Ceballos retrieving it, turns it back, and the guns start facing towards Aston Villa's goal once again with 2.5 minutes to play in the end of the first half on TalkSport. Here is Aubameyang dancing towards the byline, pulls the ball back through the 18-yard box, and it's hacked clear by Douglas Luiz. Not too far to relieve the pressure. Here's Aubameyang again, left side, 3 or 4 steps in from the touchline. Torreira plays a 1-2 on the edge of the box. It's collected by Douglas Luiz, and then it's sent wide towards the left. Jack Grealish bounds over the halfway line, moves 2 or 3 inches from inside the right touchline, then tries to curl one towards the far post, but it arced away from that far post right at the very last. I understand why he took the effort on. He did have players in front of him. It was a quick break from Aston Villa, from back to front very quickly, played out towards the left-hand side, and there he went galloping down the flank, then decided to come in on his right foot. Just seemed to open up for him, and he tried to find the far corner, and he almost did.
Wonderful effort, I've got to say. We're right behind it, and for one moment I thought he was going to come down with so much dip on it as well. The goalkeeper would have been nowhere near it.
Aston Villa 1, Arsenal 0. You're listening to TalkSport just as the big jumbotron indicates that it's nearly 45 minutes up for Aston Villa. And that would be a significant milestone to get to. Aston Villa going in at half-time with a 1-goal lead, and as things stand, sitting outside the Premier League's relegation zone. I wonder how Watford are feeling now. Here's Cedric down the right into the penalty area looking for Lacazette. Ball collected by Grealish, away by Target is up over the halfway line, then comes straight back again for Ceballos, who's through the centre circle to the left. Saka went to make a dart, back in field by Ceballos towards Lacazette. Another pass to Ceballos to this near side where it's collected by Torreira, out wide to the right. Now it's Holding on to Cedric. Cedric, can he get the cross in here? Not quite. Comes back to Holding once again, and then David Luiz will try to recirculate the ball. 3 minutes of added time to be pushed on to the end of this encounter in its first half, with all eyes and ears tuning in from Bournemouth, from Watford, from other areas too. I mean, I don't think West Ham will be unduly concerned because of their goal difference being so superior to everybody else's, but it might be tighter down there than many first thought. You said 35 points will keep you in the division.
Well, 9 out of 10 years it does.
Might not this year though.
We'll have a pound on that if you don't mind.
Okay, just a pound.
Okay.
I won't want to go over the top. I don't want to over-egg it. So it's only half time. Here is Aubameyang over on the far side. It's on to Saka. Saka going down the right-hand side, and it's cut out by Gilbert. Yeah, I mean, that is interesting, actually. I was talking about this earlier in the season. I think when the pandemic struck, we were on for a higher points tally at the bottom of the division. Things have sort of changed after that. But you know, if you get 37 points in this division, you are almost guaranteed safe. I think only once in about 15 years has that a team been relegated with that number of points.
Yeah, as I say, 35 is normally the benchmark, even though you'd be very nervous if you were to stick on 35, but it seems to do the job every year.
Well, Brighton certainly are okay on 38, and West Ham are okay on 37 because of their massive goal difference. Aston Villa not safe yet by any stretch. Here's Cedric down the right-hand side, but they are leading by a goal to nil. His cross is cleared away by Tyrone Mings, and it's out towards the near touchline, where it will be thrown in by Ceballos. David Luiz will pick it up. Sent across to Torreira, and then on to Kolasinac. Infield to Torreira again, just in front of the centre circle. And Nketiah down the right, looking for Lacazette, tries to get the crossing, can't do so. Mings anticipates, nabs the ball. There is the half-time whistle. Half-time on what has been a rather entertaining first 45 minutes, which has been separated by goal from Trezeguet after 28 minutes. Aston Villa have had a few helping hands over the course of this project restart, more than a couple of invitations to save themselves. Do you know what? They might just manage it after all. At the break, it's Aston Villa 1, Arsenal 0. Thanks, Hugh. Welcome back, everybody, to a noisy Villa Park. Noisy because the PA hasn't really been adjusted to the fact that there's nobody in the ground apart from just a handful of people. Must admit, when Stuart Pearce and I were sitting here earlier on and it came on for the first time, we looked at each other as if to say, it's like when you go to a pub and you've got a musician in the corner who's desperate to ensure that you hear his music no matter what is happening, and he's going to play it as loud as he can even if no one's interested. We are underway in the second half. Arsenal do usually win here, but they're not in front now. They are 17 games unbeaten in the Premier League at Villa Park since Dion Dublin and Julian Joachim scored goals in a victory for John Gregory's Villains in 1998. But they are 45 minutes away from doing just that again. And Stuart, if they can hold on for the next 45 minutes, it means they go into Sunday with it in their hands.
Well, that's more than they could have hoped for before the game, certainly. Arsenal have been a little bit half-cocked, a little bit punchless up front at the moment, lacked a bit of intensity at the front end of the pitch, but Villa will need to stay in the game, make sure they keep men behind the ball, and if they can get the second, all well and good.
And the ball is on the right-hand side, where it's collected by Samatta. No changes for the home team at half-time. It does look as if there has been a change in the heart of the midfield for Arsenal. And I think it's Luca Torreira who has come off and been replaced by Granit Xhaka. Xhaka is on, and he will go into a like-for-like position for Luca Torreira. Here is the corner to be taken on the near side. It's the first corner of the second half. Aston Villa have it away to our right. They're attacking the Holt end in this second 45 with blue shirts and claret shirts and blue sleeves. The ball is sent into the middle of the 6-yard box. Goalkeeper got a bit confused there, went to come for the ball, didn't get it. David Luiz had to rescue him, and it's headed out on this near side and away for a throw.
I think Villa are missing a trick there. They've got their goal by a flick on that's gone to the far post, and I think they've got more space at the far post. Arsenal overloading the front and middle of the goal, and I think anything driven to the far post just might reap rewards. Here is Halrahan deep in towards the edge of the D. It's headed away by Holding of Arsenal. An Arsenal central defender stretches his long neck into the evening sky and propels it towards the halfway line again, but it's a Villa shirt who gets hold of it. Gilbert back to Konza. Konza just rolls his studs over the ball and indicates that he'd like a run forward by Samatta, who does just that, wins the ball in the air from Kolasinac, nods it out to the wide right position. Grealish is occupying that, takes on Saka, moves towards the edge of the penalty area slowly but surely, goes on the outside, low cross towards the near post, little deflection off Saka. It's another Aston Villa corner. Yeah, Villa doing well there. Grealish got the ball out wide, and you can tell that players are fearful to go near him in case he moves that ball. You know, now you see it, now you don't scenario. Aston Villa 1, Arsenal 0, TalkSport live at Villa Park on this Tuesday night. Halrahan in towards the near post, punched away by Rob Holding, who was covering in front of the on-rushing Gilbert. It's another corner, number 6. Aston Villa leading here. And again, Halrahan will place this ball down in the quadrant. Samatta, Mings, look at the back edge of the penalty area, completely free for Villa. Here is Grealish, who had too much space, out to Douglas Luiz, who's in behind David Luiz. It's scooped into the air by Ceballos and then caught by Emi Martinez. The most conventional defending, but Arsenal have it back again and bring it clear. I just get the impression with Arsenal there's a couple of weeks away from an FA Cup final, and that's where their priorities lie at the moment in the way they're playing. Still a long way to go yet for Aston Villa before they can start thinking about getting over the line. They know they've conceded a lot of late goals, and that's been a feature of their recent past. They've only played 5 minutes of this second half, but they do have that precious goal. Nails will be bitten to the quick over the next 44 minutes or so. We're including added time. Here's Xhaka into the penalty area. Grealish only half clear. Kolasinac tries to win it by skipping over Gilbert, then runs into the area, prodded away by Tyrone Mings for Aston Villa. Comes back out wide to Ceballos into the area. A little touch by the defender. It's cleared away by Aston Villa eventually through Gilbert, despite the backheel from Kolasinac, which almost threatened to release Ceballos, who's rather balletic when he gets into advanced positions, isn't he? Danny Ceballos with that slick back hair and the Spanish silk. He manages to ghost into positions, and he can cause defences real problems. I think as well, Sam, in the modern day game you see players going into the penalty area, and the defenders, all they're concentrating on is keeping out the way of the player in case they give a penalty away. Yeah, that seems to be the motto, doesn't it? Don't give away a penalty, don't touch him, don't go near him, don't dangle a leg. Here on the right side, Cedric for Arsenal, approaching the penalty area, cross towards Aubameyang, comes to Saka, who's leaning backwards and lifts the ball high into the evening sky, and it bounces on the canvas behind Pepe Reina's goal. Well, a couple of weeks ago we saw him take a similar finish at Wolverhampton. On that occasion he was leaning back so far he might have needed a sun lounger, to be fair, if he'd leant back any more. Yeah, it was from the other side, wasn't it, the goal that he scored against Wolverhampton Wanderers, and I was led to believe that was on the wrong side as well. His left foot that he put the ball away with, but that fell to his right, goes over the top of the crossbar. You're listening to Aston Villa 1, Arsenal 0 on TalkSport with Now TV, and don't forget you can watch Manchester United versus West Ham live tomorrow with a Now TV Sky Sports Pass from just $9.99. Search Now TV. Here is David Luiz guiding the ball back to his goalkeeper, who
is Emi Martinez, who deserves credit for his performances recently. He's made some big saves. He bided his time, fielding expertly for the injured Bernd Leno. Not much he could do about the goal that Trezeguet scored in the first half. His save percentage has been the highest in the division for anyone who's played over 7 appearances this campaign.
He's looked pretty accomplished, hasn't he, recently? Actually, nothing he could have done about the goal this evening, that's for sure.
Good turn by Nketiah. He spins the ball to Cedric, who's crossed towards the back post. It's a bit high, but Pepe Reina just jumping backwards, clutches the ball from the sky on loan from AC Milan. He's a terrific goalkeeper when he was at Liverpool. He was very good at Napoli as well. It's 37 now, Pepe Reina. He's dispatched the ball very quickly upfield towards Jack Grealish. And Grealish has gone down under pressure from David Luiz. He might get a free kick here.
Great distribution there by Reina, wasn't it? You know, he's picked it up. Grealish has made the run out wide, and it was a little hitch kick, right on the money though.
You were talking about this on Sunday, when a player goes in for a header and collides with an opponent because he's closed his eyes and therefore he's not aware of his surroundings, and you said it might be violent conduct, but what I think we were discussing really was whether the fact that it was a foul, and that has been given against David Luiz for heading Jack Grealish in the side of the face.
Yeah, he's just sort of basically followed through. I think he was going to take everything all but May, it didn't really matter what was there. I think he was going to take it out. Luiz went with aggression on the ball.
Remember, you can have your say after this game on the Sports Bar with Adam Catterall and Jason Cundy. But first, we've got another nerve-jangling set of minutes for Aston Villa fans, Watford fans, Bournemouth fans up and down the country. Ball launched long by Target into the area after the initial free kick was half cleared. Ceballos not particularly good again, trying to get clear from the left full-back position. It's a little bit better, and then pressure from Gilbert on Saka puts it out of play and away for a throw in deep inside his own territory. 1-0 to Arsenal on Talk Sport, and Arsenal are on a run of 1 defeat in the last 8 matches. It's a team that have started to find their form, but they're behind here. Nketiah though racing forward from Lacazette's path, looking for Aubameyang, might come through to him, does come through to him. Big block by Konza on the floor, stops the equaliser for Aubameyang. A slip by Mings allowed Aubameyang to get a shot away in difficult circumstances. Kolasinac bursts down the left, his cross into the box, takes a deflection off Konza. It's out of play and away for another corner to Arsenal. Big chance.
It certainly was, and it was Nketiah whipped the ball in, and Mings, he's run almost beyond the ball and tried to hitch kick it away and just left it in the danger zone.
Tried to sort of step over it and back heel it, didn't he?
Yeah.
He got his legs in a tangle, and that almost flicked it into the path of Aubameyang, and he got helped out by his mate. Here's the corner, Ceballos to take it low into the near post. The Frenchman Gilbert deals with it, digs it out towards the halfway line. It's thrashed backwards into the feet of Emi Martinez, and Arsenal will bring it clear. There's a problem here for Ezri Konsa, and the referee stopped proceedings. He's back on his feet. Maybe a free kick has been given. He's having a word with David Luiz, so it suggests that was the perpetrator. I think it was after the ball had been cleared by Aston Villa. A free kick indeed has been awarded to Pepe Reina. There are consequences to relegation that go unseen. Aston Villa may well have a wealthy owner. Watford have one too. Bournemouth are not bad off, but doesn't always insulate the support staff, often loved and cherished colleagues of the players, and relegation happens, it can be a real problem for them. John McGinn into the penalty area, cross to the back post, which goes a little bit long, back in again by Hourahan, a block by Cedric, and it goes out for a corner to Aston Villa, who are on the attack.
Yeah, great set-up play there. Grealish into McGinn, and McGinn just floated one to the far post, but you're just waiting for someone to come on the end of it and volley, but sadly for Villa, no one there.
You said that a couple of times. Great set-up play from Aston Villa, and it's not the first time they've constructed good moves going forward. And there was a question mark, and we'll get to it in just a second, about Dean Smith's tactics as the ball comes in from the left-hand side, which goes towards the edge of the 6-yard box, comes back into the area, still not clear. A shot by Gilbert, another deflection, goes behind, and it's away for another corner for Aston Villa. And I suppose the point is that, I think you asked the question, some people have questioned Dean Smith's tactical nous, and ultimately you can see pretty clearly that there are plans in place here.
I think if you haven't got a confident centre forward that's scoring goals for you, you're going to be in trouble, and that's been Villa's problem, isn't it? You know.
Absolutely. Here's the corner from the far side in towards the centre, down by Konza. He didn't head it goalwards. It might fall to McGinn. It doesn't. It's poked away by Aubameyang. Lacazette tries to get it further clear. It's won by Trezeguet on this near side, and it's sent all the way back to Pepe Reina. And that has certainly been an issue for Aston Villa. You know, the top scorer is Grealish this season with 9 goals. Trezeguet's got 7 now. Wesley, before he was injured, who was brought in as the centre forward, only 6 goals this campaign.
There's been a lot of those around the Premier League, hasn't there? You know, centre forwards that have not scored goals this year.
Not scored as many goals as they would like, that's for sure. You're listening to Aston Villa against Arsenal live on Talk Sport with the Next Generation Nissan Duke together. Let's move beyond. What will worry Dean Smith and Aston Villa is the fact that they've only won 6 of the 14 games when they've scored first. They have the most defeats and the worst points per game tally after going in front. They've dropped a total of 21 points from winning positions.
I think sometimes when you play teams is always helpful or a hindrance, you know. I think if Arsenal would have been beaten at the weekend, we'd have seen a more intense Arsenal side so far this evening.
Yep, but they're through to an FA Cup final.
Yep.
And maybe that has satisfied the appetite of one or two in those yellow shirts and navy shorts that are under the floodlights here at this iconic Villa Park, with its blue and claret canvases all over the top of the empty seats on all 4 sides of the ground. The top tiers are left empty as Kolasinac runs towards the left side. He moves towards the edge of the area. Back centrally is Ceballos, who switches it out towards Lacazette. Lacazette's cross is half decent. It's blocked by Target. Headed clear. Samatta tries to win a foul, nick a foul midway inside his own half on the left side, as Aston Villa look at it and just about succeeds.
Yeah, he did come out to Samatta, helped it round the corner and just lost his footing. Whether it was a foul or not, well, only he knows.
Quite happy to buy a bit of time, Aston Villa. They might be doing that for quite some while. Aston Villa are going to make a change in a second, I think, because they're warming up substitutes away to our left, but Arsenal are going to make one first. Nicola Pepe is coming on, the record signing, and Kieran Tierney, who has played a part in every game since Project Restart went back underway. So I think David Luiz is coming off here.
Well, if it is, they're going to go to a back 4, that is for sure. Yes, it is. Looks as though they're going to...
Are they going to go as a back 4?
Oh, are they?
Well, Saka is coming on.
That's how they are.
Off for Tierney. So they must be. So Tierney's going in at left full-back, and Rob Holding's not sure, so he's turned around to the coach and said 4, is that right? Yes. So the back 4 is Cedric, Holding, Kolasinac and Tierney. I suppose when you've got a centre forward who's only scored 2 goals since joining, you can be pretty confident of deploying Kolasinac to the centre half.
Yeah, I think this has been a very aggressive substitution, really. You know, Pepe certainly, and Tierney's best work that I've seen of recent weeks has been going forward.
So you now got Pepe, Aubameyang, Nketiah and Lacazette all on the pitch at the same time. Lacazette will drop into the number 10 position, I think. Pepe on the right side, Aubameyang on the left, and Nketiah going a little bit further forward. Might be a little bit looser at the back as Lacazette commits a foul on Jack Grealish and gets a yellow card as a result.
Yeah, as I say, Arsenal have put all the guns on the pitch at once here.
The Gunners going to try and fire their weapons, and they'll know that Aston Villa have conceded 17 goals in the final 15 minutes of games, which will be a concern for Dean Smith. He's got to manage to negotiate half an hour yet. They lead by a goal to 0. The ball is just left of the centre circle. Hourahan has placed it down. He's got opportunities for Konza and Samatta on the edge of the box. He's played it left to Grealish instead. Grealish has then attempted to get across him right-footed towards the edge of the 6-yard box, and it's cut through a crowded penalty area. In the end, it's gloved by Emi Martinez, just moving to his left. And it was a real opportunity, that half-decent cross into the box, no one attacking it.
Well, that was great communication, must have been from the goalkeeper, because Holding was just about to to throw his head on it, and all of a sudden he's left it, and you thought this could nestle in the far corner, but Martinez must have given him a good solid shout.
Well, let's not make out that Arsenal haven't had problems this season. They've picked up recently, that's for sure, but they are guaranteed to end this campaign on their lowest points tally for 38 match Premier League season since the division was constituted in 92-93. Here is Cedric on the right side towards the near post, looking for Nketiah, who's collided with Mings there. Mings has gone down screaming in agony, and it is going to be a free kick on the edge of the 6-yard box. We might see more of these punctuations in play between now and the end of the game as Aston Villa try to just force the clock towards 90 minutes and eat up as much spare time in between as possible.
I think, well, Villa would be delighted with a clean sheet as much as anything else. I think the 3 points definitely, but the clean sheet, that certainly the fella 20 yards to our right, John Terry, will be delighted with it, that is for sure.
He's standing with a microphone in his right hand, talking to the bench, communicating with Dean Smith, who's chewing vociferously on gum, leaning one knee against the rail in front of him as he continues to stand on his perch about 10 yards back into the stand above the dugouts, looking at proceedings from a little bit of a higher vantage point. It's Aston Villa who lead by a goal to nil. Here's the goal scorer Trezeguet trying to latch onto Samatta's little nudge forward. It comes to Grealish, and then out on the wide left is Trezeguet once again. On goes Grealish to try and reach it. Tierney manages to clear upfield, and Mings sees it back to his goalkeeper, and it remains Aston Villa who have the lead here with 63 on the clock. Pumped forward by Reina. Too much room for Samatta to chest it down. It's played down the right, looking for Trezeguet. Once again Kolasinac intervenes, and then that's a mistake by Gilbert, and it's gone all the way through to Aubameyang down the left side into the area, being watched by Konza, tries to tee up Nketiah, it just misses him, eludes him, squeezes between him and Mings, and goes out the other side of the box. Pepe back into a central area, Xhaka wide to the left, Tierney joining the attack, gets to the byline, across goes Gilbert, goes down and takes the ball out of play. How on earth that's a goal kick, I'll never know. Certainly Gilbert has got the last touch on that, and it goes out bafflingly for a goal kick away to our left.
Yeah, the Villa defence looked very fragmented there. It was a wonderful ball by Tierney, typical left back ball, nice curl, nice shape down the line. Aubameyang in full flight, and just couldn't find a pass to his teammates.
He's good, Tierney, isn't he? 25 million quid from Celtic, where he won a lot of competitions. He's well schooled there as well. Learnt a lot under Brendan Rodgers and others, and he's come into this team. It's taken him a while because he had so many injuries earlier in the season, which just held his progress back. But since the restart, he's been a regular fixture in this team, and we've seen his quality, especially in the semi-final. He played that lovely ball which was down the touchline into the feet of Aubameyang, who raced away and scored. And that was a similar ball, really, wasn't it, from the left full-back position, almost kissing the chalk of the touchline as it arced into Aubameyang's path.
It should be the stock ball of any full-back, to be honest with you. It should be the thing that you learn first, if you like, you know, in the school of left back or right backism, that little curler.
Is it an ism, or is it a reeve? Left backery or full backery?
Take your pick, whatever it is. Yeah, but it's a 40-stroke 50-yard ball with curl that just doesn't go out of play and turns the opposition's defence round, and Tierney played it to perfection.
I like it though. Be able to get a degree in left backery at some point in the future. Here is Pepe going down the right, looking to try and nudge the ball into the path of Cedric, who's gone on beyond him into the penalty area, away to our left, which Pepe Reina is prepared to defend, and defend with his life. He knows how important this will be. This victory, if they can see it out, will be 28 minutes on the clock when they took the lead from a corner. Can they get over the line with 3 points? So often the answer to that question when Aston Villa are involved is no. Here is McGinn arcing it out towards the far side. Grealish brings it down beautifully into the penalty area. He goes running diagonally from left into the centre, tries to slalom his way past Cedric, bumps into one defender. It's half cleared. Lovely little twist and push by Lacazette to get it out towards the wide right. Now Pepe is wrestling with Douglas Luiz, who was too handsy on Pepe. He's dragged him to the floor 20 yards outside the penalty area, right over on the far touchline. It's a free kick to Arsenal.
Yeah, absolute key for Villa is they don't get overloaded at all or broke on at all. You know, you've mentioned earlier all the attacking threat Arsenal have got. You've got to make sure you've got at least one or two players superiority in your half at all times, especially when you're leading 1-0.
Does this leave them a lot more vulnerable, the fact that they've committed all of these attackers onto the pitch? Because this is, as I think you mentioned a couple of weeks ago when they were chasing a game, this is almost like 4-2-4, isn't it?
It is for Arsenal. And add to that the fact they've got two fullbacks on the pitch who like to get forward as well.
Tierney, one of those, stationed midway inside Aston Villa territory. It's Lacazette back to Ceballos, and now Kolasinac on the centre circle, guided left to Ceballos once again. Hair flapping around in the evening sky as Tierney takes over, sends his cross into towards the near post, headed away by Konza. Poor clearance by Grealish, given straight back to Xhaka to Kolasinac, and now Ceballos once again. Tierney is outside him. Ceballos decides to ghost into the penalty area, throw himself against Douglas Luiz. Look at Chris Kavanagh, who just shakes his head and says crack on, and the ball is cleared to the halfway line. Samatta chases it, goes out towards the shape of Holding, who curls it to the far side. Now it's with Pepe for Arsenal coming forward under the floodlights here at Villa Park on this important night at the bottom of the table, the penultimate fixture for Aston Villa. If they win it, they come out of the relegation zone. Ball in towards Aubameyang, his header leaning backwards, went right over the top, and it goes out for a goal kick away to our left hand side. And they've called the drinks break. What are you thinking if you're Dean Smith right now?
Well, at this moment in time, I was just about to say to you, Arsenal are building up a bit of intensity in their play, so the drinks breaks come at a very good time for him. From his players' point of view, you're looking, how leggy are they? Can they see it out with Arsenal moving the ball around like they are? But the main thing is, if you go forward, Aston Villa, make sure that you've got numbers at the back.
Why is John McGinn changing his boots?
Well, unless there's a split in his boots at this stage of the game.
Is that an odd thing to do?
At this stage of the game it is. I mean, earlier in the game, if you think, hang on, I've got the wrong studs in, that type of thing, maybe, but yeah, maybe there's a split in the boots.
Let me tell you about what's coming up over the next couple of days on TalkSport. Another memorable 46-game championship campaign is going to reach its climax tomorrow night, and there are so many games with so much riding on them. 11 of the 12 matches are important. We'll have everything covered. Commentary from West Brom against Queen's Park Rangers is live on TalkSport tomorrow night, 7:30. 7:30 on TalkSport 2, Brentford against Barnsley. You can flick between the two if you download our app, and we'll have all the goals as they go in from around the country, including the games in the Premier League between Manchester United and West Ham, and Liverpool and Chelsea. Sunday's Premier League's final day on TalkSport and TalkSport 2. We'll have commentaries for you and our usual goals service. Plus, we've got the playoff semi-finals and final to come. And we've got the Europa League, Champions League to get stuck into as well before the internationals take over and we start all over again. Happy summertime.
I'll tell you, when he come in, Pepe Reina, you thought, yeah, what a good addition. He found it a little bit, he made the odd mistake, didn't he, early on, but in this running, I think he could come to the fore with his experience.
Do you think he's given them a bit of confidence at the back?
Now I do, yeah. I've seen that tonight, definitely.
Lots of talking going on, continually encouraging his teammates.
Well, the one
and he comes and claims as well, doesn't he, with confidence?
Yeah, he gives you confidence. When you look at him, you think, here's a man who's won things. Here's a man, full stop, that's come in and been around the game and should walk through any dressing room and get respect straight away.
Ball running up towards the halfway line at the feet of Pepe, who's blocked off by Target on halfway. Target a little bit agricultural, and Douglas Luiz is eventually spoken to by the referee and given a yellow card. The arm came from him dragging Pepe back, and that's another booking, first for Aston Villa tonight. Here is Kolasinac, Nakamba and Keenan Davis about to come on for Aston Villa. Keenan Davis, who hasn't scored in 42 league games, but he used to work in his cousin's barber shop. Now he's trying to make sure Villa escape from this very close shave. He'll be coming off the bench in just a second. Here is Holding, out towards the left. Kolasinac, infield past Douglas Luiz, looks for Lacazette. Lacazette being dispossessed by Trezeguet. A little flick by Gilbert straight into Kolasinac. It's won back by Arsenal. Tierney, the only player on the pitch with his shirt tucked into his shorts, is dispossessed by Gilbert, and it goes behind and away for a goal kick.
Reminds me of a young Nigel Winterburn, actually, in his mannerisms, Tierney.
And it got anything to do with the fact that he's got his shirt tucked into his shorts?
Yeah, potentially. And one leg up and one leg down.
Have you? It's so rare now that anybody tucks it in, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I mean, you look at the design of the shirts, and they're angled to be worn out, aren't they?
Yeah. Off comes Samatta. Nakamba comes on. Hourahan goes off. Davis comes on. 2 changes. Davis, a forward, who will go up to replace Samatta, and Nakamba, who will work in midfield. Zimbabwean, combative, and incredibly fit. Signed from Club Brugge in the summer. Will try and help stiffen up that midfield area. Here is Keenan Davis, who a kid learning the game, really. Still only young, 22. Very difficult for him when he hasn't played too many matches in Aston Villa colours. Most of his football has been out on loan. To come and be responsible for rescuing a club like Aston Villa. But, hey, maybe it's the night for a young hero. Maybe he'll get the vital touch right at the end of the game, which will steer Aston Villa outside the relegation zone. Been in it for such a long time, but Watford's defeat earlier to Manchester City by 4 goals to 0 levelled the goal difference. A victory here for Aston Villa will level the points total, and that means with the goal that they have scored, they've eclipsed the goal difference that was earlier on a gap of 5, and they go above Watford and out of that drop zone. Here's Pepe for Arsenal, who still might have something to say about that with 16 minutes to go. Ceballos out wide to Cedric, who's 15 yards in from the right touchline. Back to Ceballos, back to halfway. Then it's Holding. In the centre circle is Kolasinac. All these shirts now short-sleeved. 2 or 3 of the players wearing yellow undershirts in Arsenal colours. One of those is Kolasinac, with his gruff beard and shaven head. Plays it back to Holding. Not really going anywhere here with possession, Arsenal. Holding and Kolasinac just playing keep ball. It's up to Aubameyang to try and dart forward. It's back to Kolasinac again. Goes infield to Holding once more, and now on to Ceballos, who wants to pick it up from the back and start to attack down the right hand side. He moves towards the edge of the area, where he gives it to Nketiah, who loses possession, and Grealish will dart away with it, skipping away from Ceballos and into the opposition half. He plays it through to Keenan Davis, who's inside the area. Davis faces up the goal scorer, and he puts it past the goalkeeper and past the upright away to our left hand side. Well, that was a huge moment for Keenan Davis, but he didn't have the confidence of an arch poacher. He was played in by Grealish after a terrific run by the Aston Villa captain. Down the left side it went, and Keenan Davis tried to steer it home, and it was a yard wide.
Yeah, fantastic play by Grealish there. Gone past 2 players, brushed them aside, said to his teammate, there you go and get your first goal. And Davis probably didn't have the confidence in his ability.
Great chance that, Stuart, wasn't it?
It certainly was. I mean, you've got to, either the goalkeeper's got to stop it or it's nestled in the net. Take your pick. But it wasn't a clean strike, was it, with his left foot? He's pulled it across the front of the goal.
Heart beating out of his chest. He had run about 30-40 yards, sprinted into that position. By the time he got to pull the trigger, he had a long time to think about it, and he dragged it wide of the left-hand upright. Could be a key moment in the game. Certainly Aston Villa fans will be hoping not. Maybe the Bournemouth fans and the Watford fans will be hoping that it is the moment that things change for Arsenal and they can get back into the game. A ball towards the near post, which comes off the hand of Matt Targett, flicks behind, and the corner is given for Arsenal. 1-0 to Aston Villa.
Yep, Villa just all 11 men behind the ball now. Game of concentration, attack v defence basically, and if they do turn the possession over, keep it as long as you can. That's the name of the game for them now.
Corner to be taken over on the far side, and it's Pepe who delivers it in towards Nketiah, who hits the post, and then it comes out, and Pepe Reina drops it and just about smuggles it on the line. What a chance! And Villa's goal leads a charmed life, and it remains 1-0 to the home team. But Arsenal so mighty close through Eddie Nketiah to an equaliser.
There is the relegation battle in a nutshell. That is just what turned the relegation battle, and that might be what keeps Villa in it. Fantastic leap by Nketiah, headed it down, everyone's waiting for it to nestle, and it comes off the post straight into the goalie's hands.
I bet Keenan Davis is a relieved man. On the edge of the penalty area at the other end, he loses possession though as he looks to try and trick his way into the box, and Arsenal come clear with it. Mings steps across, Nakamba intervenes, Villa get it back again. 13 minutes to go. Aston Villa 1, Arsenal 0 on Talk Sport. Here's Grealish taking up the mantle onto McGinn inside the area, shoots, saved by the goalkeeper, pushed away by Martinez, and the rebound is mopped up by Kieran Tierney with Trezeguet bearing down upon him. John McGinn's effort straight at the goalkeeper either side of him, and that was 2-0, Stuart Pearce.
Yeah, fantastic set-up play once again by Grealish, just with the outside of the right foot, stroked it into McGinn. McGinn's good first touch, his second touch, he's gone for power where it should have been. We talked about Tierney and that curler up the line, that same shape would have scored him a goal.
Final substitute about to come on for Arsenal. Willock, as the ball's thrown in towards the edge of the 6-yard box from the right side by Aston Villa. Trezeguet's header comes out to the edge of the box. Nakamba commits a foul and gives away possession to Arsenal. Here comes the change, and Willock is going to come on. We can't see the board because they haven't illuminated the numbers, and no one is none the wiser as to who is coming off. Now we know that Cedric is coming off over on the far side. So another midfielder comes on and another defender goes off. So we're now playing two at the back, are we?
Well, they're not doing too much defensive work. It's stopping Grealish setting up attacks for Villa. That'll be key for Arsenal.
So Willock will go and just sit on Grealish, you think?
Well, yeah, or just surge forward whenever he can.
Is Ceballos going to play right back here?
Looks that way. They want him to just get on. I think at this stage, listen, Arsenal are not playing for a great deal in the league, are they? So it won't matter to them.
Wow. Ball is out on the far side. It's with Pepe. It's all hands to the pump for Aston Villa here as Arsenal throw all their big weapons onto the pitch to try and drag themselves back into this game. Remember, no one has conceded more goals in the last 15 minutes of Premier League games than Aston Villa this season. 21 points given up from winning positions, but they lead here, a precious lead, a pivotal lead in the race to try and stay in the Premier League. They have a goal advantage against Arsenal, who have been in such great form, have beaten Liverpool and Manchester City recently, and if they do manage to get over the line here, they'll move out of the relegation zone tonight. Here's McGinn spinning away from Kolasinac, who pulls him down on the halfway line. There's going to be a yellow card for Kolasinac. He was threatening to spin in behind and cause a real problem for Arsenal there. That's the problem that Arsenal have got when they're committing so many men forward, Stuart.
They have. I mean, all their players are in advanced positions in the main, and if they do lose possession, as we've seen 2 or 3 times now, mainly if it falls to that man Grealish, he'll set something up or go himself.
This is going to be huge. This could be a watershed night in the history of Aston Villa. No one knows what happens when you go down, how long it might take to come back up. Just ask Leeds United, bouncing back after 16 years away from the Premier League. It was a long, tortuous journey for them. Aston Villa don't want to test it. Here's Ceballos out towards the near side. Not a Bournemouth, really. Or Watford. And Watford's change of manager, their thrashing by Manchester City today, may well have just changed the course of their history too. Nervousness amongst those supporters, maybe a dash of hope amongst those from Aston Villa. If you thought it was all sorted at the bottom of the table, I'm afraid tonight might just prove that you are wrong. It's currently Aston Villa 1, Arsenal 0. And for the latest odds, you can head to the Betfair Exchange, the official betting partner of TalkSport's Premier League coverage, where right now you can get 1.36 on Aston Villa, 24 on Arsenal, and the draw at 4.4. It's all thanks to the Betfair Exchange. More ways to bet, more ways to win. 18 plus, please gambleaware.org. McGinn brings the ball down from the sky, lashes it goalwards, misses the target by some distance after a free kick from the right side. What's going through Dean Smith's mind right now?
Well, just hope that nobody gives Arsenal an easy ride to their goal is for sure. Concentration's absolutely vital at this stage. You're a little bit fatigued, you're in 80 odd minutes, your team are in front. This is the best chance they'll have of staying in the Premier League, this one, so I don't think Watford will pick another point up personally. And then from there, can you concentrate and see the game out? Something they haven't done particularly well over a season.
Aston Villa will go to the London Stadium on Sunday knowing that it is in their own hands. If they were to win that game on Sunday, they will stay in the Premier League as long as Watford don't win by an avalanche of goals in their match against Arsenal. It might still be complicated on Sunday. You might have to listen to your radio. We'll have it all covered. 7.5 to go. Ball crossed towards the box by Arsenal, but won by Jack Grealish, who combines with Davis, whose touch is too heavy. It goes out of play, and before they can think about breaking, Arsenal have the ball back again on the halfway line. It's going to need every ounce of concentration that Konsa, Gilbert, Mings and Targett have got. Every ounce of energy that Douglas Luiz still has in his body. Nakamba arcing back and getting to dig things out from difficult situations. It's going to require Keenan Davis to win niggly fouls on the halfway line, to hold the ball up, to bring others into play, to make it stick and take pressure off the defence, because it feels as if the last 7 minutes will be a yellow wave towards that Aston Villa goal. And as the nerves start to set in, Stuart, you do naturally just retreat towards your own goal.
Well, they've been retreating for most of this second half. It's concentration now.
Tierney down the left side, trying to get it across into the centre, manages to do that, popped away by Konsa. Nakamba coming back to fill in, manages to get it clear. McGinn can't reach it, halfway inside his own half. It's won by Nakamba. Free kick is given against Nakamba. Ceballos saying, well, I didn't give it, don't blame me. The Aston Villa bench aren't happy about it, but it is an Arsenal free kick just left of centre, 10 yards in front of the centre circle.
Trezeguet doesn't realise it, but he might have key to this game, stopping the ball going into Tierney's feet, because Tierney can deliver from this left-hand side.
Arsenal send the free kick in towards the edge of the penalty area, but Villa managed to get it clear. Grealish dabs it down, then gets a return ball, races towards the halfway line. All of a sudden, they look to counter-attack. Grealish pursued by Pepe, has to send it back to halfway. Targett comes infield with the ball at his feet, dribbling towards the goal. He sends it on to Keenan Davis, edge of the area. Targett goes for the return, can't get the crossing. Ball down, was he by Willock? He certainly glanced back at the referee to ask the question, and it spills behind and goes out for a goal kick away to our right.
You asked me about Dean Smith, what's his thoughts? His thought process should be to his team, get the ball into Grealish's feet, because he can make yards and he can keep possession of the ball, and that at this moment in time is vital to Villa. That
could be the key instruction right now. Make yards, drag yourself up the pitch, keep the ball away from this half of the field, this half you're defending, away to our left. As night starts to darken, all of a sudden the game has whizzed by and there's only 5 minutes left. Aston Villa, for whom it will feel like a lifetime, are trying to hang on at the end. All 3 points here will earn them a place outside of the relegation zone. They steam forward after clearing through Mings, but it's an Arsenal jersey that recovers the ball in Xhaka. Across to Kolasinac. Mikel Arteta, tonight he's not the focus. He's got his talks to have with Aubameyang about the future. He's got his plans, his clarity, but this team still have work to do. He knows that. He knows they can't play like they played on Saturday night forever, pragmatically. They can't play defence-first football at Arsenal. Not if they want to be a success. They have to be on the front foot. Oh, hold on a second. Free kick been given here on the edge of the area, and Sian Massielis took her time over flagging. Well, I thought that Target had won the ball and was progressing up the pitch, but it took 3 or 4 seconds before the assistant referee on the far side decided to raise a flag.
To be fair, for me, I don't think that's a free kick. Target's gone down, but Pepe's just dinked the ball past him and run into him, and I think he's bought the foul by going down.
Yellow card for Target as well.
The referee hasn't even seen it, so I'm not sure how he can give a booking for something he didn't even give a free kick before.
Well, this will be a contentious moment in the final few seconds of the game. Remember, Aston Villa were ahead against Everton in a similar position just 6 short days ago, last Thursday evening. They were leading by a goal to nil, and then Theo Walcott scored a header, and all of a sudden they were thrown back into turmoil. If something goes in now, there will be desperation around this place. Pepe whips it in towards the far post. Oh, Mings gets in front of his goalkeeper and heads it over the top. There was a bit of miscommunication there. Mings is complaining there was a push inside the penalty area on him, but it's a corner and nothing more, and there will be a huge relief amongst defender and goalkeeper. Ceballos hand in the air, signals to his troops. He sends it into the near post. Holding is beaten in the air by Davis. It comes back to Xhaka, out wide to the right. A chance for Pepe to cross. He floats it long, and Pepe Reina comes out and claims it high into the air. He pours it into his chest and lays upon it and cherishes it as if it was a newborn baby.
I tell you what, when you are playing in a back 4, back 5, back 10, whatever it may be, and you're 1-0 up, and on 87 minutes your goalkeeper does that, it is such a relief.
Up to Keenan Davis, who chests it down and keeps it inside the Arsenal half. Bournemouth fans who thought they might end up having real hope going forward. Still might, you know. Anything can happen in this game. They will have 31 points from 37 games in 19th position. Watford 34 from 37, but a minus 27 goal difference. Then in 17th position, above that crucial dotted, perforated line, Aston Villa with 34 points from 37 games and a minus 26 goal difference. It is so very, very tight at the bottom of the table for the right to stay in the Premier League. On Sunday we will bring you everything you need to know as Aston Villa take on West Ham. Arsenal host Watford, another team involved in relegation trouble, and Bournemouth go to Everton. At the top of the table there'll be action too. Here's Aubameyang into the penalty area. It will only matter like that if Aston Villa can see this over the line. Trezeguet's goal, a crucial goal after 28 minutes, will change the course of Aston Villa's history. They know that Dean Smith can turn round now and say it is in our hands. We are the masters of our own destiny. Just see out the final 45 seconds plus injury time. Arsenal have thrown everybody forward. They've got Lacazette, Aubameyang, Nketiah, Pepe, Ceballos, Willock, all on the pitch at the same time. Tierney high up on the pitch on the left-hand side, trying desperately to come up with a ball which might level things up. They would have taken a point before this game, Aston Villa. They don't want one now. They want all three. Here's Tierney, left side by the corner flag. His cross into the box is flicked into the air by Gilbert. Retreating back is Konza. Heads it away. He'll be collected by McGinn here. He's got to run it clear. He has to hold on to possession. He draws a free kick, a crucial one. A yellow card comes out for Willock, who perpetrated that foul. And on the edge of the centre circle, a few of those Aston Villa players just need to suck in a few more ounces of oxygen. Tyrone Mings has dropped to his knees. He needs a bit of help and assistance. Very quickly a physio comes out to the near side, but Mings is already up on his feet and ready for battle again. He just needed a few moments to check himself. 4 minutes of added time. Stuart Pearce.
Yeah, for Villa, I mean, they look pretty. I've got to say, Arsenal have had a lot of pressure, a lot of possession, territory, that type of thing, but they've not really threatened the goal. They've had the header off the post, but I think in the main Villa have been okay.
Henry Lansbury's about to come on for the last few seconds to waste time here. Pepe Reina sends it long out towards the right. Arsenal trailing away at Aston Villa. For Aston Villa, this big huge club that's just made it back into the Premier League, owned by billionaires, hoping to stay in the billionaires club. The Premier League is where it is at. It's not the only place it's at, but it's the place to be. And right now, Aston Villa know they are in control of what happens next.
Yeah, Tierney just suffering a bit. He's taken up good positions just in front of us, probably 30-40 metres out from goal, but he's struggling to get past the fullback.
Yeah, Gilbert's done quite well, and Gilbert had some problems over the course of the season. You and I have been critical of him. I think we went to a game where you were desperate to get down on the pitch and have a word with him and tell him how to play a full-back role, because he was struggling. I think it was at Manchester City earlier in the season.
Yeah, and I think Tierney's suffering from not having a trick. You know, it's push it and run, and he needs to cut inside on the odd occasion.
Ball out on the near side. Gilbert will allow it to run out of play. Aubameyang collides with Dean Smith on the near touchline. The cameras come out, the steady cams, and focus on the faces of the two managers. Mikel Arteta with his incredibly dark, short hair, which is almost Lego-like, fixed on his head. His chinos, slacks and black jumper, now a uniform that he wears almost every single time we see him. The fourth official's got a problem with his board. We're going to have to switch that out. They're going to make a substitution here. We're waiting to see the introduction of Lansbury. John McGinn is coming to the near touchline, but he's doing so in pigeon steps. We will hear from Mikel Arteta and from Dean Smith on the conclusion of this game. The sports bar is open for business, Villa fans. 08717 223344. Nor nervous Watford fans might want to give Adam Cattrall a call as well. 08717 223344. Bournemouth fans as well, sitting by their radios tonight, or are they just hiding away, hoping that it will all be over soon? It'll be over on Sunday on TalkSport. The EFL season will climax tomorrow as well across our two stations as Mings gallops into his own half and gets in front of Aubameyang, who equally was trying to outpace him. It's played against Aubameyang. And how on earth is that not a throw-in for Aston Villa? And Aston Villa's staff is very much vocalising that down in front of us now. The ball is won by Arsenal. Maybe one last attack is coming their way as they break down the right-hand side. It's played in towards the feet of Pepe. Pepe then goes back to Xhaka. We played 3.5 minutes of added time at the end of the 90 here on TalkSport. It'll only be the second win in 13 Premier League games for Aston Villa. They have not beaten an established top six opposition since a 1-0 victory against Tottenham Hotspur at White Hart Lane in April 2015. A big victory is a long time coming, but it's a big victory which will mean so much more in the context of staying in the Premier League. They have worked their socks off in the second half to stop Arsenal from scoring. They have ridden their luck at times as well. They were given a helping hand by Manchester City's thrashing earlier of Watford. An invitation to go on and take the game to Arsenal. They got the goal after 28 minutes and they have held on for dear life since. They might have to hold on for dear life here as Ceballos swings the ball into the 6-yard box and Pepe Reina grabs it from the sky and the full-time whistle blows and there is a roar of relief from Jack Grealish, the captain of Aston Villa, who bellows into the sky, collapses on the ground, lays on his back and holds his head in his hands. It might not get bigger than this. Aston Villa give themselves a massive chance of Premier League survival. It's entirely in their hands. They know if Watford are beaten by Arsenal and Bournemouth fail to win at the weekend, then they will snatch a place in next season's Premier League. Trezeguet's goal after 28 minutes puts a smile on the face of the chief executive, Christian Purslow, who gives a big thumbs up knowing that Aston Villa have done something remarkable tonight. There's another twist in this long-running plot against relegation. Dean Smith is all smiles as he marches onto the pitch to congratulate his players, knowing that his team have beaten Arsenal by a goal to nil.